I'm Tom Baker, this is Chasing Cars, and today is a big day for BMW because they've ripped off the covers of their first all-electric SUV, and this is it, the new iX3. And as you can see here, BMW have played a pretty straight bat with this one, keeping the looks of the iX3 pretty resemblant to the standard combustion X3. You can even see they've got the kidney grille up front, even though this is an all-electric car, but they have avoided giving it the rabbit teeth aesthetic from the new 4 Series. Now, this new all-electric BMW uses an 80 kilowatt hour battery. 74 kilowatt hours of that is going to be usable, producing a WLTP rated range of 459 kilometers. Now, the motor also produces 210 kilowatts of power and 400 newton meters of torque while avoiding rare earth minerals entirely, and the whole process to build this thing is going to use green electricity, BMW says, and it's also rear-wheel drive. We're going to be seeing the new iX3 in Australia in mid-2021, so if you're interested, stick around because in today's video I'm going to take you through all the details of this new electric BMW SUV, including the powertrain, the design inside and out, where this vehicle is going to fit in, and whether it'll be able to take on the Tesla Model Y. So before we get started, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell below, as it does make a big difference. All right, let's crack on. Let's kick off by covering the heart of the new iX3, its electric powertrain. I've mentioned that this vehicle is rear drive and produces 210 kilowatts and 400 newton meters. So the power of a diesel 6, but the torque of a diesel 4. And this combination sprints from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 6.8 seconds, making the iX3 about as quick as the 2-litre turbo petrol X3 30i, despite its extra weight. It then heads on up to a top speed of 180 kilometers per hour. The electric powertrain has efficiency of up to 93%, which compares to about 40% for the combustion engines offered on the X3. The iX3 uses the same cluster architecture platform as the ordinary X3, so this isn't a bespoke electric vehicle per se. However, there is still a long and slim battery assembly used within this platform, meaning a centre of gravity that's 7.5 centimetres lower than a combustion BMW X3. In a nod to questions of sustainability within EV components, the iX3's motor avoids the use of rare earth elements entirely, as the motor utilises current-excited synchronous operation without the use of magnets. In addition, production of the iX3's motor and battery is powered by green electricity across the board, BMW says. The iX3's battery measures 80 kilowatt hours, of which 74 kilowatt hours, or 92.5%, is utilised. Charging speeds for the iX3 will be up to 150 kilowatts through DC fast charging. Charging at that max output of 150 kilowatt will allow charging from 0 to 80%, or 0 to 367 kilometers, in 34 minutes. At this charging speed, 100 k's of range is added in 10 minutes. The iX3's regenerative braking power will be automatically adapted to the kind of road that you're travelling on, taking in navigation and semi-autonomous assistance sensor data. If you're coming up to a stop sign, the iX3 will apply full regenerative power when you lift the throttle. However, on the motorway, if you lift your foot, the iX3 will coast like a combustion X3, so you're not suddenly frightening the person behind you with strong regen braking. You'll also be able to select the regen power manually with high, medium and low settings, while the B position on the gear shifter will provide one-pedal driving akin to the BMW i3. In my opinion, the iX3 strikes a pretty good blend of looking like the rather handsome combustion vehicle it's based on, the standard X3, while picking up some obvious cues that this is an electric vehicle. Personally, I think the Mercedes EQC goes a little too far in the "hey, I'm an EV" direction, while the iX3 looks pretty right. That said, design is subjective. Maybe I'm being a little conservative, so please let me know your opinion down in the comments. At the front, the iX3 retains BMW's signature kidney grille, and not even the new rabbit tooth version from the 4 Series. Now, this vehicle doesn't have an engine, so the grille is largely closed off, while blue accents highlight that this is an electrified BMW. Other aspects of the front apron are subtly changed compared to the X3, including new vertical faux air intakes and a reshaped central intake housing the adaptive safety system sensor. Around the side, if you miss the fake intake exit with BMW's iPerformance badge and the blue strip running within the door cladding, you'd be forgiven for mistaking the iX3 for a standard X3 when it's moving. A number of distinctive aerodynamic wheel designs make this car's status more clear when it's parked. These wheel designs add about 10 k's of range thanks to their aero nature. The iX3 charges from a port on its rear right side, so you'll want to reverse into charging bays. The rear end too is highly reminiscent of the standard X3, but you'll pick up on the rather obvious deletion of the exhaust outlets. These are filled in with blue card, which will take some getting used to. Inside, the new BMW iX3's navigation system differs from the standard car in that it provides an e-route service, which recommends mid-journey stops to charge the battery if required. The system will also provide charging space availability, rate of charging, payment methods, and suggestions of local things to do while waiting for the iX3 to charge, especially important if you don't manage to find one of those 150 kilowatt DC chargers. A system called the Iconic Sounds Electric will provide what BMW call acoustic feedback to accompany the driving experience. A smoothly modulated sound will accompany harder acceleration, while there'll be a gently filtered acoustic response when using Regen braking. Sounds interesting, but we'll wait to hear it in real life. These sounds, by the way, were designed by Zimmer and Renzo Vitale. Pretty cool, and there'll actually be a selection of Zimmer composed drive soundtracks available in future. Will this be once and for all an answer to what EVs are supposed to sound like? We'll see. Following up from the i3 hatchback, the iX3 is BMW's first fully electric series production vehicle. Its addition to the X3 lineup alongside the existing powertrain options will represent a new philosophy that BMW are calling Power of Choice. Basically, this means that in future, there'll still be petrol and diesel options available, as well as battery electric choices like the X3, plug-in hybrids, and potentially hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles as well. All of which separates BMW from fully electric manufacturers like Tesla, who are completely committing to new powertrain options. Whether or not the BMW iX3 squares up as a direct competitor to the Tesla Model Y will largely be based on price, but it would seem like a missed opportunity for BMW if that wasn't the case. So those are our first impressions of the new 2021 BMW iX3, which will arrive in an expanded X3 range that will now feature petrol, diesel, and electric options. But I'm keen to know what you think of BMW's first all-electric SUV, so please share your comments with me down below in the comments box. Let me know if this is a vehicle you consider. Would you take the Tesla Model Y instead, or just stick with a standard petrol or diesel SUV for now? While you're down there, make sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell. And as always, thanks for watching Chasing Cars.